not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I win a crown, the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. What I'm saying, people saying what's already been said. Predictions, I don't listen, it's already in my head, no funny. Your most hungry place, I was past that at 28. Underground tapes, as my ass captain publishing states. As we slide in the G-Ride, I've been getting criticized, it's keeping me energized. Create with a business mind, I'm from where killers reside. A wild hood, only knew goons since my childhood. Say anything in these raps cause it sound good. Don't even mean what they say, horrible outlook. Y'all ain't really about this house. Y'all was in the house with it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Window down, blowing out. Great tits, New York's J. Prince on Houston Street. I caught the bounce before my even bounced the beat. I took the hard way in it, man, it's the route for me. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. In top 3, I'm not number 1, how can you post that? I win a crown, the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. In top 3, I'm not number 1, how can you post that? I win a crown, the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black, meet Joe Black. Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birth most of chains in the game? Why would I?
Still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Their first play from scrimmage is a pickup of 13.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run once more with Taylor. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Well, this defense for the Buccaneers, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. So after several rushes to start the game, Charles, they go to the air there and get a nice completion.
Nice mix-up on the play calling, right? Establish the running game, make the defense think you're going to do it again, and then hit them over the top. Now you've got them betwixt and between. They don't know which way you're going to come at them.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
To throw again on second down. Hurts. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 24-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First and 10, Taylor now. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is third down. On third down, here's Taylor. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. All in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well, but give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard. Throw here right side, he hauls it in, and they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation, you have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run, and I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 39-yard line. Chubb will get the call running left down to about the 37. The Bucs at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD. And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory. Second down, here's Chubb again. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Bud Dupree off the edge and getting to the quarterback.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Packers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And the Bucs will take over here just shy of the 30.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field, and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork two guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
On third down, Wilson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On fourth down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
On the counter, it's Taylor. And tough going there, as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And not much of an opening there, as he's only going to get this for about the 32. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
With it is Brown. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something? And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Derek Stingley picks it. And the Packers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. just shy of midfield. Hurts. His throw incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead, finish up the half, and get on out and talk about it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Final preparations being made for the second half, both in terms of game plan and also hydration, because humidity is really going to catch up to these guys, no doubt. And for the call in the second half, we go back to Brandon Gaudin.
Yeah, Coach. Hey, that goes for the announcers, too. No AC in this booth, so we've got a mash unit of empty water bottles up here as well. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now it's Wilson. so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Okay, ready?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Hurts. This one swung out wide for Taylor. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 11, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
From the 44, Hurts. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first. But nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
They'll try the left side with Taylor. Room here to run. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 98 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Back to Taylor on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Taylor. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The open man here, Renfro. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out, but they've gone on a march since then, and now after that completion there, they've got a 1st and goal.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. Here's Hurts to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And it's a Packers touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he's got room. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
On first down, Wilson. And this is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Wilson. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
This offense so far on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 33 yards that time.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 69 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Nick Chubb, his third rushing touchdown of the year. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Second down, another run with Taylor. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit out and running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Arnold Ebiketie brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Now Brown. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Six yards left on 2nd down. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And he is going to have a Bucs 1st down. They needed 4, he doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
They'll try the draw now with Chubb. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And again, it's Chubb. And he's got this down to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Uses the stiff arm. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
Charles, that drive was perfect. Methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. That one checks all the boxes, doesn't it? You get the 1st down, check. Get out of bounds, stop the clock, check.
Well, how about one last check? Keep your quarterback from getting hit. That's a big check.
Yeah, check there as well. Good call. Back to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
He's going to let this one go deep. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And then on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting into midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So for the Bucs, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.
Sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20 years to a red minimum. Call hit boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect minds from complex rhymes. And by the way, shout out Tech 9. Go and shut the just let me talk. I'm a time bomb that's waiting to go off. Quite nuclear, amazing what fame can do to you.